Yes, yes, yes. I'm here. Patriot Media, we're here. And tonight is the State of the Union address by President Trump. So I'm on here a little bit early. This echo's driving me crazy. I still haven't figured out how to get rid of that yet. We've had a little technical issues this evening, but we're gonna make it through it. Hopefully, it's gonna be good. So we are awaiting everything here. Here, let's fix this. There we go. So we're awaiting everything here. It's scheduled for around 9 to 9:15 is when it gets started. So I'm just going to check and make sure that everything is operating the way it should. Let me get the chat open on my end so I can go ahead and see the comments coming in. And we're glad you guys are jumping in here, but keep in mind that President Trump won't be going until somewhere around probably 9:15 is from the times that I've seen. I know there's a lot of live streams out there about this tonight. That's great. So we should be on Periscope, YouTube, and Gab.ai right now. So I'm hoping all those are coming through. It looks like we got a few people jumped in already. Awesome. So here, we'll go back over here, guys. So that's what's going on. You know, the State of the Union, the memo thing, right? I mean, the memo is going to get released. There's a lot of talk, you know, is he going to talk about it at the State of the Union address? As awesome as that would be, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that it's going to, from everything I've found, it's going to follow the State of the Union, whatever that means. Does that mean tomorrow morning? Does it mean, you know, later tonight, by the end of the week? We're not sure. But we're going to find out because it has been voted to release it. And we know we all want to see what's in the memo. But tonight it's going to be about the State of the Union address. And if you guys are able to hear everything and everything's working well, if you want to throw up a couple little comments so I can see what's going on here. Let me see if I can get Gab going. Let me minimize this real quick. Make sure that I'm on there. Make sure that it's working because we haven't done... Oh, there we go. I have to pause it and mute it here. So we got one person in there right now, Goy Rodef. Okay, so yeah, so we are on Gab.ai. We are going to be streaming this live on Gab.ai. There's also a couple other people I noticed that are on there, but this is on Periscope and YouTube as well. Oop, how did that get over here? I see a few comments here. I love PUTUS. I'm so excited. Working good on Periscope, Jersey says. Awesome, cool. Thank you, Jersey, for that. So that's what's going on, guys. So I'm going to actually... switch over to this screen here, take myself off. I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes here. And so you guys just sit tight, chat amongst yourselves, share the stream. I am going to, like I said, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Cindy Hoffman here on YouTube, I see with the sunglasses. So just sit tight, guys, and I will be back in a few minutes. See you guys soon. So I'm working on putting some fillers in between so when we have to sit like this, so I'm not sitting here just rambling on and you guys have something to watch. But I've been having I don't know what is up with my computer, to be honest with you. Something's really weird going on with it. And we're making it, but it's got some issues. So we're trying to work through all that and hopefully be able to give you guys some stuff to sort of look at if we have to sit or if we're in between, like a break or something like that. Feel free to share this to Facebook, guys, too, the YouTube stream or the Periscope stream. I'd really love to see more people jump on Gab.ai as well, or Gab, or whatever you want to call it. Gab.ai just seems to be what I keep calling it. And we're going to try to build that up. I think there's a lot of future there, like I've been talking about it, and the people who are on there really seem to like it. You got some idiots on there, just like anything, but now they can really say whatever they want over there, so that's the only thing, but that's no big deal, whatever, move on, and you're able to say what you want to say, so you can check us out there as well. All right, guys. All right, okay. So I'm going to stay here in the little box for a little while. We'll actually, you know what? We'll switch. All right. How about that? So we're just hanging out. I'm trying to read some of these comments here. There's some people jumping in, but it's early as well. That's also why I wanted to get the live stream going, is to let people kind of jump in here. Cindy, how are you? I see. Well, there's Cindy on YouTube and Cindy on Periscope, so we got double Cindy's. But how are you? Good to see you. So I'm looking forward to see what he has to say here. I mean, I know he's going to highlight all the successes that he's had through the year that the mainstream media really just fails to recognize on purpose. I think that's going to be great. I know he's going to highlight those things, and I'm almost positive immigration is going to come up. It's at one point or another. This should be good. This should be good. It says Cindy invited followers. Thank you, Cindy, for doing that. And so so we're broadcasting right now, Periscope, YouTube, Gab.ai, and Twitch. Actually, I always forget to mention that Twitch because that's sort of like a backup of the backup. So I'm just kind of hanging out, and I've been, trying to hear what a lot of people have been saying about this whole memo thing, and this should be interesting. It should be interesting. Cindy all over the world. So while we're waiting, guys, let me just show you this stuff too. Some of you guys know us, and if you guys are catching this on replay, chances are you're going to fast forward through all this stuff. But if you're not on Gab.ai, guys, this is our page on Gab that I keep mentioning. So we're obviously trying to grow it here, but this is what it looks like. It resembles a lot like Twitter to some degree, but it also has its own feel, the way things work, but it's very, very similar. And this is our page at Patriot Media, so you can follow us over there. So if you're not on Gab, I suggest hop on there and like our page. And for all of you guys that don't know, let me show you this here. This is what we've been dealing with. Facebook has deleted our page completely. We had over 47,000 followers. There was a lot of live streams that were deleted. Some of you guys may have already know about this. Some of you may not. But, yep, they removed it. I would like to say, though, that I did find the footage that I have from the first New Orleans event with the whole monuments thing down there. Really the one that kind of set a lot of people in motion to have the platform that they have today. So I found that footage. I'm going to be putting it together, and I will be uploading that onto YouTube, so you guys can check that out. And it's not going to be one of those things that you're probably going to want to sit and watch through the whole thing. I literally live streamed the entire day. The total amount of footage comes out to over 5 hours worth of footage. So you're not going to want to sit there and watch the whole thing. It's one of those things that you'll want to skip back and forth and check out different parts. And it was definitely a fun day. And I'm glad that I have that footage to be able to share with you guys, because Facebook decided to just remove everything. Good to meet you, Patriot Media. Hey, Randall. If you just found us on YouTube, man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and see what we do. Cindy bought me one of your knives for my birthday from you. Oh, the ones that we auctioned at one time. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm assuming you enjoyed it. Let's see what we got. Anything going on in Gab here? Oh, we got Cindy and Gab here. I see you here too. Oh, awesome. So Cindy is also on Gab. That's fantastic. That's great. And one other thing, guys, if you like what we're doing on Patriot Media, you're going to want to check out our YouTube channel. Like the guys who are on YouTube, you're already watching that. If you're watching this on Periscope, on replay, or Gab to AI, if you're jumping in, this is our page. This is our live stream. Obviously, right now, this is live. And we have plenty of videos that we have put in. There's more that are going to be uploaded as well, as I go through some of the footage that I have, the raw footage, and try to recover whatever is in there that was on Facebook that wasn't on YouTube and upload that as well. So I think that'd be cool, so you guys can see all that. I have all the videos about Vulich. You need them. I mean, right now, I'm trying to just wait and see what it is that he's coming up with here. I have seen a little bit of it, and I'm just waiting to see what the released product is, so I can look it all over and really see if it's something I would ever want to be on. I'm not going to be joining it at first, and I'm going to be reading through the terms of service very, very, very carefully. I could tell you that. Yeah, Trump walking in. I don't see that. This is the stream right here live. It could be on another live stream from one of the news places who have their own crew there. This is the whitehouse.gov live stream, actually. So this is their feed. So it was scheduled for 9/15, so it should be getting started shortly here. But this is actually here. We're monitoring it right now, and we're just gonna see as soon as it comes on. We're gonna go to that and let you guys enjoy that. Hopefully everything runs smoothly. I don't know, this computer, I'm telling you, I don't know what the deal is with it, but it's acting up with me. Do I need the videos I made about Vulich back to upload? Let me check to see if I have the videos. I don't know which ones I have and which ones I don't have. But if you have some of the footage from Patriot Media that's been, that they deleted, and that I don't have, yeah, I would actually like to have that footage just for my own records and whatnot as well. It's hard to download every Facebook Live that you do and save it and storage, and it's a bunch of stuff. Where you burned the funny letter? Yes, actually, that one I would like. I thought, is that on YouTube? I don't know. I have to check. I have to see if I put it on there or not. I don't think I did. But yeah, we're enjoying this together. And we're just going to be hanging out and watching this. As soon as it comes on, we'll give a little bit of light commentary. Maybe we'll have some discussion afterwards. I'd really like to see what you guys have to say in the comments. But I would urge, we got some more people on, let's see. Stream the orange man, we care not for this bearded one, the Gary. Well, thank you for those lovely comments, Gary. Appreciate it. We love you too. Let's see. Well, yeah, it's still not. Like I said, I think the time that they had was 9:15, but I copied them from your Facebook. All right, cool, Benny, awesome. That'd be great. I'm trying to keep track of all these things that are going on here. It's on now, man. It's on C-SPAN. You're probably right. We're just gonna use this particular stream, but he's not speaking yet. I don't think, because this is the official live stream from them, so it should be going. Let's see. Oh, that's good. Gary. So this is, I don't know if it starts when he speaks exactly, but it's probably when he's going to go up there. This is the whitehouse.gov official live stream. The other ones are coming from other sources. That's the one that we have on here. We could try a different one next time and, see if if you guys like that better. But personally, I've used these ones for the press conferences. I've used them for a lot of everything, and usually it just comes on like when it's about to get started, not like all the beforehand stuff of what you're describing. Yeah, just sit tight, Gary. I mean, this is going to start whenever they get started, so. Yeah, no, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be big like this once it goes, and then I'll be on here, and I might even pop off and remove myself and then come back on. I'm not sure. We'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. I'm trying to watch these Gab comments. But if you guys are on Gab, definitely give us a follow. It looks like Gary just followed us. Cool, appreciate that. So yeah, this should get started here. I believe the time was around 9:15. It was officially called for 9, but the time that from the White House says 9:15 on the live stream. So and that is the live stream that we are on, and that's the one that's in the background right now. So give me just a second, guys. I'll be back in. Give me a minute or two, and if I'm not back in time and it starts, you guys already have it up on the screen. So I'll be back in just a second. So Vinny asks on Periscope, is Gab better than MeWe? Yes, I think so. That's my opinion, yes. I have you on one device and another news stream in my other device. Lisa says on YouTube. So this would be the time to share the stream, guys, or at least within the next few minutes. I anticipate this thing to be starting probably within less than 10 minutes. The actual address itself. So go ahead and share this out, retweet it, do whatever you got to do. Bring some people in here, have some cool discussion, and it's just another live stream to check out. Hello, Jewel on YouTube. How are you? Thanks for dropping by. Gary says, I did, shared it to the State of the Union live discussion on Gab. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. All right, so it looks like we're about to get started, guys. Go ahead and share that out.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and the distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
How's the sound, guys?
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States, and my fellow Americans. Less than 1 year has passed since I first stood at this podium in this majestic chamber to speak on behalf of the American people and to address their concerns, their hopes, and their dreams. That night, our new administration had already taken very swift action. A new tide of optimism was already sweeping across our land. Each day since, we have gone forward with a clear vision and a righteous mission to make America great again for all Americans.
That's right, and the Democrats can't stand it. They just keep trying to divide while Trump's trying to unite and put everyone to move forward. The Democrats want to keep everybody down. That's a fact.
Over the last year, we have made incredible progress and achieved extraordinary success. We have faced challenges we expected and others we could never have imagined. We have shared in the heights of victory and the pains of hardship. We have endured floods and fires and storms. But through it all, we have seen the beauty of America's soul and the steel in America's spine. Each test has forged new American heroes to remind us who we are and show us what we can be. We saw the volunteers of the Cajun Navy racing to the rescue with their fishing boats to save people in the aftermath of a totally devastating hurricane. We saw strangers shielding strangers from a hail of gunfire on the Las Vegas Strip. We heard tales of Americans like Coast Guard Petty Officer Ashley Leopard, who is here tonight in the gallery with Melania. Ashley was aboard one of the first helicopters on the scene in Houston during the Hurricane Harvey. Through 18 hours of wind and rain, Ashley braved live power lines and deep water to help save more than 40 lives. Ashley, we all thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's nobody kneeling in here, huh? Not like the NFL.
We heard about Americans like firefighter David Dahlberg. He's here with us also. David faced down walls of flame to rescue almost 60 children trapped at a California summer camp threatened by those devastating wildfires. To everyone still recovering in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands, everywhere, we are with you. We love you, and we always will pull through together, always.
See, this is what I don't understand is how the left tried to say that he's divisive when all he talks about is unity. He's not race baiting like the left is. The left, that's all that they do. And they claim he's a divider.
Thank you to David and the brave people of California. Thank you very much, David. Great job. Some trials over the past year touched this chamber very personally. With us tonight is one of the toughest people ever to serve in this House. A guy who took a bullet, almost died, and was back to work 3.5 months later. The legend from Louisiana, Congressman Steve Scalise.
Yeah, shot at by a Democrat. A radical left-wing Bernie Sanders supporter.
I think they like you, Steve. We're incredibly grateful for the heroic efforts of the Capitol Police officers, the Alexandria Police, and the doctors, nurses, and paramedics who saved his life and the lives of many others, some in this room. In the aftermath, yes. In the aftermath of that terrible shooting, we came together, not as Republicans or Democrats, but as representatives of the people. But it is not enough to come together only in times of tragedy. Tonight, I call upon all of us to set aside our differences, to seek out common ground, and to summon the unity we need to deliver for the people. This is really the key. These are the people we were elected to serve.
Once again, talking about unity. Again, I mean, that's his message. Its message has always been unity, but the left distorts it and tries to just race bait and say he's a racist and a fascist and this and that. But listen to what the man's actually saying.
Thank you. Over the last year, the world has seen what we always knew, that no people on earth are so fearless or daring or determined as Americans. If there is a mountain, we climb it. If there's a frontier, we cross it. If there's a challenge, we tame it. If there's an opportunity, we seize it. So let's begin tonight by recognizing that the state of our union is strong because our people are strong. And together we are building a safe, strong, and proud America. Since the election, we have created 2.4 million new jobs, including including 200,000 new jobs in manufacturing alone. Tremendous numbers.
Big economy boom.
After years and years of wage stagnation, we are finally seeing rising wages.
Without the need to raise minimum wage. That's how you do it.
Unemployment claims have hit a 45-year low.
That's what it's about.
Something I'm very proud of. African American unemployment stands at the lowest rate ever recorded.
Yeah, but you'll never hear CNN talk about that, will you? Nope. They'll come up with every other race-baiting thing to come and talk about and turn him into a racist, but they will never acknowledge that he has the lowest black unemployment ever.
And Hispanic American unemployment has also reached the lowest levels in history.
There's another record. Let's see if CNN talks about it. No.
Small business confidence is at an all-time high. The stock market has smashed one record after another, gaining $8 trillion and more in value in just this short period of time. The great news...
Yeah, and Mark Cuban said it's going to tank the economy.
The great news for Americans, 401k, retirement pension, and college savings accounts have gone through the roof. And just as I promised the American people from this podium 11 months ago, we enacted the biggest tax cuts and reforms in American history.
And I wonder where all the jobs are coming from. It works, guys, it works. See, Democrats? We don't need socialism. We don't want socialism. Clowns. This guy's done so much in his first year, and it doesn't get acknowledged nearly enough.
Our massive tax cuts provide tremendous relief for the middle class and small business. To lower tax rates for hardworking Americans, we nearly doubled the standard deduction for everyone. Now the first $24,000 earned by a married couple is completely tax-free. We also doubled the child tax credit. A typical family of four making $75,000 will see their tax bill reduced by $2,000, slashing their tax bill in half.
More money in your pocket. That's what it comes down to.
In April, this will be the last time you will ever file under the old and very broken system, and millions of Americans will have more take-home pay starting next month. A lot more.
There you go. See, what did I say? Money in your pocket. Your hard-earned money, you're taking home more of it, bottom line. That's what that comes down to. Instead of getting to these clowns in government.
We eliminated an especially cruel tax that fell mostly on Americans, making less than $50,000 a year, forcing them to pay tremendous penalties simply because they couldn't afford government-ordered health plans. We repealed the core of the disastrous Obamacare. The individual mandate is now gone. Thank heaven.
Bye-bye, mandate. Bye-bye. And Ready to Snap says this is the first State of the Union address that you watched in years. I don't blame you. Nobody wants Obamacare. Look at this. Look, you see this? It's a disaster. Everyone knows it.
We slashed the business tax rate from 35% all the way down to 21%, so American companies can compete and win against anyone else anywhere in the world.
So basically we're a country again.
These changes alone are estimated to increase average family income by more than $4,000. A lot of money. Small businesses have also received a massive tax cut and can now deduct 20% of their business income. Here tonight are Steve Staub and Sandy Keplinger of Staub Manufacturing, a small, beautiful business in Ohio. They've just finished the best year in their 20-year history.
See, people that actually work like Donald Trump. These kids off in college that are living off mommy and daddy that think socialism is the way to go, they hate Trump. So go figure. Hardworking people like Trump.
Because of tax
little
reform,
scumbags don't.
They are handing out raises, hiring an additional 14 people, and expanding into the building next door. Good feeling. One of Staub's employees, Corey Adams, is also with us tonight. Corey is an all-American worker. He supported himself through high school, lost his job during the 2008 recession, and was later hired by Staub, where he trained to become a welder. Like many hardworking Americans, Corey plans to invest his tax cut raise into his new home and his two daughters' education. Corey, please stand.
Karen says none of the Dems look happy. Yeah, it's because the memo's about to drop. Right on their freaking head.
And he's a great welder. I was told that by the man that owns that company that's doing so well. So congratulations, Corey. Since we passed tax cuts, roughly 3 million workers have already gotten tax cut bonuses. Many of them thousands and thousands of dollars per worker, and it's getting more every month, every week. Apple has just announced it plans to invest a total of $350 billion in America and hire another 20,000 workers.
And mind you, these are the same people who said that Trump was going to fail and that the economy was going to tank, and now they're all bringing their money into the country and investing it here. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe because he actually knows what he's talking about instead of these left-wing jokes.
And just a little while ago, ExxonMobil announced a $50 billion investment in the United States. Just a little while.
Oh, look at that. More money pouring back into the country. Surprise, surprise.
This, in fact, is our new American moment. There has never been a better time to start living the American dream. So to every citizen watching at home tonight, no matter where you've been or where you've come from, this is your time. If you work hard, if you believe in yourself, if you believe in America, then you can dream anything. You can be anything. And together, we can achieve absolutely anything.
And just listen to the optimism that he gives off. He's talking to us, patriots, too. He's talking to anybody. Anyone in this country. He's very positive. These Democrats are so really negative, you know, they're little pedophiles and just I can't wait for the memo to come out.
Tonight, I want to talk about what kind of future we're going to have and what kind of a nation we're going to be. All of us together as one team, one people, and one American family can do anything. We all share the same home, the same heart, the same destiny, and the same great American flag.
That's right. That's right. If you don't like the flag, you can leave. It's simple. You can take Bernie Sanders with you, and Hillary too. We don't mind. Bill, all the Clintons, just take them with you.
Together, we are rediscovering the American way. In America, we know that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the center of American life. The motto is, "In God we trust."
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And, you know, you're dealing with people on the left that do, you know, all sorts of strange worship out in the mountains and, like, blood libel situations. There's some of these people are really out there. They don't have a God. And this is what he's doing. He's bringing God back.
We celebrate our police, our military, and our amazing veterans as heroes who deserve our total and unwavering support.
Wow, you know what? That's so much different compared to Barack Obama inviting Black Lives Matter into the White House, which is a domestic terror group. Who doesn't like cops or wants to kill cops and have openly called in the streets for what do we want dead cops, when do we want them now?
Here tonight is Preston Sharp, a 12-year-old boy from Redding, California, who noticed that veterans' graves were not marked with flags on Veterans Day. He decided all by himself to change that and started a movement that has now placed 40,000 flags at the graves of our great heroes. Preston, a job well done.
That's nice to know that not all the kids growing up aren't libtards. You know, it's nice to see that people still have respect and understand the importance of veterans and to respect the veterans.
Young patriots like Preston teach all of us about our civic duty as Americans. And I met Preston a little while ago, and he is something very special that I can tell you. Great future. Thank you very much for all you've done, Preston. Thank you very much. Preston's reverence for those who have served our nation reminds us of why we salute our flag, why we put our hands on our hearts for the Pledge of Allegiance, and why we proudly stand for the national anthem.
Yeah, not Neil. With his NFL jokes.
Americans love their country, and they deserve a government that shows them the same love and loyalty in return. For the last year, we have sought to restore the bonds of trust between our citizens and their government. Working with the Senate, we are appointing judges who will interpret the Constitution as written, including a great new Supreme Court justice and more circuit court judges than any new administration in the history of our country.
That's what we need. We need more constitutionalists. We need people who are actually going to interpret the Constitution the way it's supposed to be interpreted, not twisted. These Obama appointees that just, they all need to be purged, all of them, and they all need to be replaced as far as I'm concerned.
We are totally defending our Second Amendment and have taken historic actions to protect religious liberty. And we are serving our brave veterans, including giving our veterans choice in their health care decisions. Last year, Congress also passed, and I signed, the landmark VA Accountability Act. Since its passage, my administration has already removed more than 1,500 VA employees who failed to give our veterans the care they deserve, and we are hiring talented people who love our vets as much as we do. And I will not stop until our veterans are properly taken care of, which has been my promise to them from the very beginning of this great journey. All Americans deserve accountability and respect, and that's what we are giving to our wonderful heroes, our veterans. Thank you. So tonight I call on Congress to empower every cabinet secretary with the authority to reward good workers and to remove federal employees who undermine the public trust or fail the American people.
I mean, if you can't do the job, you shouldn't be there, period, and man. You shouldn't just be guaranteed a job because it's a government job. That's a bunch of BS. You should be rated on your performance.
To make Washington accountable, we have eliminated more regulations in our first year than any administration in the history of our country. We have ended the war on American energy, and we have ended the war on beautiful, clean coal.
Bottom line is we got to be energy independent. If we have resources here, we need to use those first. We shouldn't be buying any resources from, Arab countries. Period.
We are now very proudly an exporter of energy to the world.
Yeah, and so he even takes it a step further, not only trying to become energy independent, but make money.
I halted government mandates that crippled America's great, beautiful auto workers so that we can get Motor City revving its engines again, and that's what's happening. Many car companies are now building and expanding plants in the United States, something we haven't seen for decades. Chrysler is moving a major plant from Mexico to Michigan. Toyota and Mazda are opening up a plant in Alabama, a big one, and we haven't seen this in a long time. It's all coming back.
But yeah, because we're actually trying to be competitive instead of exporting our wealth to other countries. That's what happens when you have policies that are in place that are good for American companies and good for American people. People want to invest in the country, not take their business outside of the country.
Very soon, auto plants and other plants will be opening up all over our country. This is all news Americans are totally unaccustomed to hearing. For many years, companies and jobs were only leaving us. But now they are roaring back. They're coming back. They want to be where the action is. They want to be in the United States of America. That's where they want to be.
Well, when they're dumping billions of dollars back into the economy, that pretty much says everything, because we all know that money talks.
Exciting progress is happening every single day. To speed access to breakthrough cures and affordable generic drugs, last year the FDA approved more new and generic drugs and medical devices than ever before in our country's history.
Well, we have to do something about the drug prices, so it's good to see progress in that area, 100%. The pharmaceutical companies are making a killing.
We also believe that patients with terminal conditions, terminal illness, should have access to experimental treatment immediately that could potentially save their lives. People who are terminally ill should not have to go from country to seek a cure. I want to give them a chance right here at home. It's time for Congress to give these wonderful, incredible Americans the right to try.
That's absolutely right. If someone's in that position, they're going to be willing to try. And if they don't want to try, nobody's going to force them. But if they're willing to go for it, they should be able to use some type of experimental trials to see if it'll cure them. Why not?
One of my greatest priorities is to reduce the price of prescription drugs.
Yeah, but somehow the Democrats will find that to be a problem. Even Bernie Sanders, which is like one of his staples.
In many other countries, these drugs cost far less than what we pay in the United States, and it's very, very unfair. That is why I've directed my administration to make fixing the injustice of high drug prices one of my top priorities for the year. And prices will come down substantially. Watch. America has also finally turned the page on decades of unfair trade deals that sacrificed our prosperity and shipped away our companies, our jobs, and our wealth. Our nation has lost its wealth, but we're getting it back so fast. The era of economic surrender is totally over. From now on, we expect trading relationships to be fair and, very importantly, reciprocal. We will work to fix bad trade deals and negotiate new ones, and they'll be good ones, but they'll be fair. And we will protect American workers and American intellectual property through strong enforcement of our trade rules.
Well, that's the thing, guys. Most countries around the world have taxes on stuff that comes into their country.
As we rebuild our industries, it is also time to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure.
You'd think the Democrats would be on board with this one, but they'll find some reason to oppose it.
America is a nation of builders. We built the Empire State Building in just 1 year. Isn't it a disgrace that it can now take 10 years just to get a minor permit approved for the building of a simple road?
Thank you, Obama.
I am asking both parties to come together to give us safe, fast, reliable, and modern infrastructure that our economy needs and our people deserve. Tonight, I'm calling on Congress to produce a bill that generates at least $1.5 trillion for the new infrastructure investment that our country so desperately needs. Every federal dollar should be leveraged by partnering with state and local governments and, where appropriate, tapping into private sector investment to permanently fix the infrastructure deficit, and we can do it. Any bill must also streamline the permitting and approval process, getting it down to no more than 2 years and perhaps even 1. Together, we can reclaim our great building heritage.
Trump 2020.
We will build gleaming new roads, bridges, highways, railways, and waterways all across our land. And we will do it.
The amount of spirit for the nation that he has brought to the forefront of this country is amazing.
As tax cuts create new jobs, let's invest in workforce development and let's invest in job training, which we need so badly. Let's open great vocational schools so our future workers can learn a craft and realize their full potential.
That's absolutely needed. You've got a lot of these kids from the inner city that if they had access to good vocational schools, they wouldn't end up being stuck there. They would be able to.
By supporting paid family leave.
Yeah, that's another one. But the vocational is super important.
As America regains its strength, opportunity must be extended to all citizens. That is why this year we will embark on reforming our prisons to help former inmates who have served their time get a second chance at life.
which is something that it was never really designed to do. So at least he recognizes that rehabilitation is the answer and not just throw them in there forever.
Struggling communities, especially immigrant communities, will also be helped by immigration policies that focus on the best interests of American workers and American families. For decades, open borders have allowed drugs and gangs to pour into our most vulnerable communities. They've allowed millions of low-wage workers to compete for jobs and wages against the poorest Americans. Most tragically, they have caused the loss of many innocent lives. Here tonight are two fathers and two mothers, Evelyn Rodriguez, Freddie Cuevas, Elizabeth Alvarado, and Robert Mickens. Their two teenage daughters, Kayla Cuevas and Nisa Mickens, were close friends on Long Island. But in September 2016, on the eve of Nisa's 16th birthday, such a happy time it should have been, neither of them came home. These two precious girls were brutally murdered while walking together in their hometown. 6 members of the savage MS-13 gang have been charged with Kayla and Nisa's murders. Many of these gang members took advantage of glaring loopholes in our laws to enter the country as illegal, unaccompanied, alien minors and wound up in Kayla and Nisa's high school. Evelyn, Elizabeth, Freddie, and Robert, tonight everyone in this chamber is praying for you. Everyone in America is grieving for you. Please stand. Thank you very much.
It's such a tragedy. Anytime that, these illegals are killing American citizens, and they shouldn't even be here, they need to get out of here. We need to deport them, period. I don't care.
I want you to know that 320 million hearts are right now breaking for you. We love you. Thank you. While we cannot imagine the depths of that kind of sorrow, we can make sure that other families never have to endure this kind of pain. Tonight I am calling on Congress to finally close the deadly loopholes that have allowed MS-13 and other criminal gangs to break into our country. We have proposed new legislation that will fix our immigration laws and support our ICE and Border Patrol agents. These are great people. These are great, great people that work so hard in the midst of such danger so that this can never happen again.
The wall has to get built already, and the Democrats have to stop playing politics and actually care about the citizens of this country. But, right, wait a second. All their votes come from illegals. They know by repopulating this country, they can get the votes, and that's what they're trying to do.
The United States is a compassionate nation. We are proud that we do more than any other country anywhere in the world to help the needy, the struggling, and the underprivileged all over the world. But as President of the United States, my highest loyalty, my greatest compassion, my constant concern is for America's children, America's struggling workers, and America's forgotten communities. I want our youth to grow up, to achieve great things. I want our poor to have their chance to rise. So tonight, I am extending an open hand to work with members of both parties, Democrats and Republicans, to protect our citizens of every background, color, religion, and creed.
How could you turn that down? How are the Democrats going to refuse that? But I don't know how they're going to, but they will. Watch. Guaranteed. Because they don't care about the people. They care about their bank account.
And the sacred duty of every elected official in this chamber is to defend Americans, to protect their safety, their families, their communities, and their right to the American dream. Because Americans are dreamers too. Here tonight is one leader in the effort to defend our country, Homeland Security Investigation Special Agent Celestino Martinez. He goes by DJ and CJ. He said, call me either one. So we'll call you CJ. Served 15 years in the Air Force before becoming an ICE agent and spending the last 15 years fighting gang violence and getting dangerous criminals off of our streets. Tough job. At one point, MS-13 leaders ordered CJ's murder, and they wanted it to happen quickly. But he did not cave to threats or to fear. Last May, he commanded an operation to track down gang members on Long Island. His team has arrested nearly 400, including more than 220 MS-13 gang members. And I have to tell you what the Border Patrol and ICE have done. We have sent thousands and thousands and thousands of MS-13 horrible people out of this country or into our prisons. So I just want to congratulate you, CJ. You're a brave guy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he can keep throwing them in prison and getting them the hell out of this country because that's where they need to be. We don't want MS-13 in here. Send them back. Why are we paying for this crap? Why is that coming into your taxes for them to go be able to collect EBT or whatever the hell it is else they're filing for in states like California and all over this country where they're giving illegals all this stuff?
What's the secret? He said, we're just tougher than they are, and I like that answer. Now let's get Congress to send you, and all of the people in this great chamber have to do it. We have no choice. CJ, we're going to send you reinforcements, and we're going to send them to you quickly. It's what you need.
Yep. You got to support it. You got to support them.
Over the next few weeks, the House and Senate will be voting on an immigration reform package. In recent months, my administration has met extensively with both Democrats and Republicans to craft a bipartisan approach to immigration reform. Based on these discussions, we presented Congress with a detailed proposal that should be supported by both parties as a fair compromise, one where nobody gets everything they want, but where our country gets the critical reforms it needs and must have.
Well, it's about time. The career politicians have destroyed this. So now he's got to clean up the mess.
Here are the 4 pillars of our plan. The first pillar of our framework generously offers a path to citizenship for 1.8 million illegal immigrants who were brought here by their parents at a young age. That covers almost 3 times more people than the previous administration covered. Under our plan,
I think it's too
those
much.
who meet education, and work requirements and show good moral character will be able to become full citizens of the United States over a 12-year period. The second pillar fully secures the border.
He knows they won't go for it because that takes out their votes for 12 years. They're not going to go for it. They're going to fight him tooth and nail.
That means building a great wall on the southern border, and it means hiring more heroes like CJ to keep our communities safe.
I really don't think the Democrats are going to go for that immigration, but you know what? I don't think there should be a pathway necessarily.
Crucially, our plan closes the terrible
unfortunately, I think you have to.
exploited by criminals and terrorists to enter our country, and it finally ends the horrible and dangerous practice of catch and release.
Catch and release makes absolutely no sense. Like, why am I paying people to go out and catch somebody and then just let them go? I mean, that's tax dollar money.
The third pillar ends the visa lottery, a program that randomly hands out green cards without any regard for skill, merit, or the safety of American people. It's time to begin moving toward a merit-based immigration system, one that admits people who are skilled, who want to work, who will contribute to our society, and who will love and respect our country.
Absolutely, 100%. We had that at one time, and it needs to go back to that. It was changed in the 60s by Kennedy with his ridiculous immigration bill.
The fourth and final pillar protects the nuclear family by ending chain migration.
That's another disaster that needs to be thrown out. So that he's on point. I mean, chain migration.
Under the current broken system, a single immigrant can bring in virtually unlimited numbers of distant relatives. Under our plan, we focus on the immediate family by limiting sponsorships to spouses and minor children. This vital reform is necessary not just for our economy, but for our security and for the future of America. In recent weeks, 2 terrorist attacks in New York were made possible by the visa lottery and chain migration. In the age of terrorism, these programs present risks we can just no longer afford. It's time to reform. These outdated immigration rules and finally bring our immigration system into the 21st century.
Absolutely, we got to deal with the problems we have today. This is what we need.
These 4 pillars represent a down-the-middle compromise and one that will create a safe, modern, and lawful immigration system. For over 30 years, Washington has tried and failed to solve this problem. This Congress can be the one that finally makes it happen. Most importantly, these 4 pillars will produce legislation that fulfills my ironclad pledge to sign a bill that puts America first.
Which is what he ran on, and which is what he's delivering every step of the way. Everything that he said he's delivering on.
So let's come together, set politics aside, and finally get the job done.
The Democrats don't want to get the immigration done. That's how they get their votes.
These reforms will also support our response to the terrible crisis of opioid and drug addiction. Never before has it been like it is now. It is terrible. We have to do something about it. In 2016, we lost 64,000 Americans to drug overdoses, 174 deaths per day, 7 per hour. We must get much tougher on drug dealers and pushers if we are going to succeed in stopping this scourge.
Honestly, a lot of it has to do with the doctors. The doctors need to get cracked down on a lot of these pain management clinics and things like that, handing out opioids left and right, getting people hooked. And then they're able to get the illegal stuff on the streets because it's cheaper.
My administration is committed to fighting the drug epidemic and helping get treatment for those in need, for those who have been so terribly hurt. The struggle will be long and it will be difficult, but as Americans always do, in the end, we will succeed, we will prevail.
And that's the spirit of the country that he's bringing back. I mean, you know, we've been decimated by Obama and all the other crap.
As we have seen tonight, the most difficult challenges bring out the best in America. We see a vivid expression of this truth in the story of the Holetz family of New Mexico. Ryan Holetz is 27 years old, an officer with the Albuquerque Police Department. He's here tonight with his wife, Rebecca. Thank you, Ryan. Last year, Ryan was on duty when he saw a pregnant, homeless woman preparing to inject heroin. When Ryan told her she was going to harm her unborn child, she began to weep. She told him she didn't know where to turn, but badly wanted a safe home for her baby. In that moment, Ryan said he felt God speak to him. You will do it because you can. He heard those words. He took out a picture of his wife and their 4 kids. Then he went home to tell his wife, Rebecca. In an instant, she agreed to adopt. The Holetz named their new daughter Hope. Ryan and Rebecca, you embody the goodness of our nation. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan and Rebecca. As we rebuild America's strength and confidence at home, we are also restoring our strength and standing abroad. Around the world, we face rogue regimes, terrorist groups, and rivals like China and Russia that challenge our interests, our economy, and our values. In confronting these horrible dangers, we know that weakness is the surest path to conflict, and unmatched power is the surest means to our true and great defense. For this reason, I am asking Congress to end the dangerous defense sequester and fully fund our great military.
I mean, that should be a no-brainer. I mean, I don't really know why you wouldn't want to fund the military unless you're purposely trying to weaken the country, which is exactly what Obama did.
As part of our defense, we must modernize and rebuild our nuclear arsenal, hopefully never having to use it, but making it so strong and so powerful that it will deter any acts of aggression by any other nation or anyone else.
But we need to regain our place as a superpower in the world and not have China be such a rival, which is a communist country.
Perhaps someday in the future there will be a magical moment when the countries of the world will get together to eliminate their nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, we are not there yet, sadly. Last year, I also pledged that we would work with our allies to extinguish ISIS from the face of the earth. 1 year later, I am proud to report that the coalition to defeat ISIS has liberated very close to 100% of the territory just recently held by these killers in Iraq and in Syria and in other locations as well. But there is much more work to be done. We will continue our fight until ISIS is defeated. Army Staff Sergeant Justin Peck is here tonight. Near Raqqa last November, Justin and his comrade, Chief Petty Officer Kenton Stacy, were on a mission to clear buildings that ISIS had rigged with explosive, so that civilians could return to that city, hopefully soon and hopefully safely. Clearing the second floor of a vital hospital, Kenton Stacy was severely wounded by an explosion. Immediately, Justin bounded into the booby-trapped and unbelievably dangerous and unsafe building and found Kenton, but in very, very bad shape. He applied pressure to the wound and inserted a tube to reopen an airway. He then performed CPR for 20 straight minutes during the ground transport and maintained artificial respiration through 2.5 hours and through emergency surgery. Kenton Stacy would have died if it were not for Justin's selfless love for his fellow warrior. Tonight, Kenton is recovering in Texas. Raqqa is liberated, and Justin is wearing his new Bronze Star with a V for Valor. Staff Sergeant Peck, all of America salutes you. Terrorists who do things like place bombs in civilian hospitals are evil. When possible, we have no choice but to annihilate them. When necessary, we must be able to detain and question them. But we must be clear, terrorists are not merely criminals. They are unlawful enemy combatants.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how do you argue that? How can you argue against that?
And when captured overseas, they should be treated like the terrorists they are. In the past, we have foolishly released hundreds and hundreds of dangerous terrorists, only to meet them again on the battlefield, including the ISIS leader, al-Baghdadi, who we captured, who we had, who we released. So today, I'm keeping another promise. I just signed, prior to walking in, an order directing Secretary Mattis, who is doing a great job. Thank you.
He's been delivering. There's no question about that. Let's see Sessions deliver the same way. That's what I'd like to see. Lock her up.
To re-examine our military detention policy and to keep open the detention facilities in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now we could put Obama in there. And Hillary. And let's just put Podesta
I am
in there.
asking Congress to ensure that in the fight against ISIS and al-Qaeda, we continue to have all necessary power to detain terrorists wherever we chase them down, wherever we find them. And in many cases, for them, it will now be Guantanamo Bay. At the same time, as of a few months ago, our warriors in Afghanistan have new rules of engagement. Along with their heroic Afghan partners, our military is no longer undermined by artificial timelines, and we no longer tell our enemies our plans.
That should be common sense. But Obama, no.
Last month, I also took an action endorsed unanimously by the U.S. Senate just months before. I recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Shortly afterwards, dozens of countries voted in the United Nations General Assembly against America's sovereign right to make this decision. In 2016, American taxpayers generously sent those same countries more than $20 billion in aid. That is why tonight I am asking Congress to pass legislation to help ensure American foreign assistance dollars always serve American interests and only go to friends of America, not enemies of America. As we strengthen friendships all around the world, we are also restoring clarity about our adversaries. When the people of Iran rose up against the crimes of their corrupt dictatorship, I did not stay silent. America stands with the people of Iran in their courageous struggle for freedom.
Yeah, which is amazing, because where was Linda Sarsour with the whole women's march? You know, empowering women and all that. You know, women taking off their hijabs in the street. Where was Linda Sarsour?
I am asking
Nowhere to be
Congress
found.
to address the fundamental flaws in the terrible Iran nuclear deal. My administration has also imposed tough sanctions on the communist and socialist dictatorships in Cuba and Venezuela. But no regime has oppressed its own citizens more totally or brutally than the cruel dictatorship in North Korea. North Korea's reckless pursuit of nuclear missiles could very soon threaten our homeland. We are waging a campaign of maximum pressure to prevent that from ever happening. Past experience has taught us that complacency and concessions only invite aggression and provocation. I will not repeat the mistakes of past administrations that got us into this very dangerous position. We need only look at the depraved character of the North Korean regime to understand the nature of the nuclear threat it could pose to America and to our allies. Otto Warmbier was a hard-working student at the University of Virginia, and a great student he was. On his way to study abroad in Asia, Otto joined a tour to North Korea. At its conclusion, this wonderful young man was arrested and charged with crimes against the state. After a shameful trial, the dictatorship sentenced Otto to 15 years of hard labor before returning him to America last June, horribly injured and on the verge of death. He passed away just days after his return. Otto's wonderful parents, Fred and Cindy Warmbier, are here with us tonight, along with Otto's brother and sister, Austin and Greta. Please. Incredible people. You are powerful witnesses to a menace that threatens our world, and your strength truly inspires us all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tonight we pledge to honor Otto's memory with total American resolve. Thank you. Finally, we are joined by one more witness to the ominous nature of this regime. His name is Mr. Ji Sung-ho. In 1996, Sung-ho was a starving boy in North Korea. One day he tried to steal coal from a railroad car to barter for a few scraps of food, which were very hard to get. In the process, he passed out on the train tracks, exhausted from hunger. He woke up as a train ran over his limbs. He then endured multiple amputations without anything to dull the pain or the hurt. His brother and sister gave what little food they had to help him recover and ate dirt themselves, permanently stunting their own growth. Later, he was tortured by North Korean authorities after returning from a brief visit to China. His tormentors wanted to know if he'd met any Christians. He had, and he resolved after that to be free. Sung Ho traveled thousands of miles on crutches all across China and Southeast Asia to freedom. Most of his family followed. His father was caught trying to escape and was tortured to death. Today he lives in Seoul, where he rescues other defectors and broadcasts into North Korea what the regime fears most: the truth. Today he has a new leg, but Sung Ho, I understand you still keep those old crutches as a reminder of how far you've come. Your great sacrifice is an inspiration to us all. Please, thank you. Sung Ho's story is a testament to the yearning of every human soul to live in freedom. It was that same yearning for freedom that nearly 250 years ago gave birth to a special place called America. It was a small cluster of colonies caught between a great ocean and a vast wilderness. It was home to an incredible people with a revolutionary idea that they could rule themselves, that they could chart their own destiny, and that together they could light up the entire world. That is what our country has always been about. That is what Americans have always stood for, always strived for, and always done. Atop the dome of this Capitol stands the Statue of Freedom. She stands tall and dignified among the monuments to our ancestors who fought and lived and died to protect her. Monuments to Washington and Jefferson and Lincoln and King. Memorials to the heroes of Yorktown and Saratoga. To young Americans who shed their blood on the shores of Normandy and the fields beyond, and others who went down in the waters of the Pacific and the skies all over Asia. And freedom stands tall over one more monument, this one, this Capitol, this living monument. This is the monument to the American people. We're a people whose heroes live not only in the past, but all around us, defending hope, pride, and defending the American way. They work in every trade. They sacrifice to raise a family. They care for our children at home. They defend our flag abroad. And they are strong moms and brave kids. They are firefighters and police officers and border agents, medics and Marines. But above all else, they are Americans. And this capital, this city, this nation belongs entirely to them. Our task is to respect them, to listen to them, to serve them, to protect them, and to always be worthy of them. Americans fill the world with art and music. They push the bounds of science and discovery, and they forever remind us of what we should never, ever forget. The people dreamed this country. The people built this country. And it's the people who are making America great again.
That's right. That's all of us patriots that are out there doing our part. Whether you're making videos, whether you're out there with the flags, the flag waves, and the rallies, and all that. Everybody's doing their part. He's talking to you.
As long as we are proud of who we are and what we are fighting for, there is nothing we cannot achieve. As long as we have confidence in our values, faith in our citizens, and trust in our God, we will never fail. Our families will thrive. Our people will prosper. And our nation will forever be safe and strong and proud and mighty and free. Thank you, and God bless America. Good night.
So there it is, the State of the Union. Great speech. I think it was a great speech. It was very unifying. The Democrats are going to find reason to argue. They're going to find reason to not agree with the 4 pillars for the immigration reform of what he's talking about. I mean, we know that's coming. They've been doing it. But how can you deny that? How can you deny that speech? How can you deny that he's trying to unify people? He's cutting right through their BS. I mean, the Democrats, they're going to get exposed. And let's wait to see what this memo has to say. That's what I want to know. That should be coming out real soon, too, I'm telling you. They were saying, like, after the State of the Union, so that could be, you know, tomorrow. I think before the end of the week, we're going to see what is in the memo. And they bash him, for sure. And listen, guys, if you like videos like this, if you like what we're doing over here at Patriot Media, go ahead and check out our YouTube channel. You can see some of our older videos there and see what we're about. Our Facebook page just got deleted, straight up deleted. So I'm going to be uploading what I have to the YouTube channel so you guys can see those videos. And also, you can help us out by going to patreon.com/Patriot Media and help us out so we could do these things more often, increase the frequency, and just increase overall quality and everything like that. Oh yeah, truly refreshing coming off of Obama. Totally. I mean, here he is. He's out here talking with, meet and greets. other members. I'm wondering what the Democrats are going to be saying. They're going to come out and say something stupid. Oh, you're a member in the Discord channel. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for hosting the stream, Patriot sub. That's what Noodle said on YouTube here. Actually, let me see if this works, guys. Since we're seeing all this stuff, we'll put this up here a little bit. There we go. If this speech doesn't unify everyone, I honestly don't know what will. Well, the issue is you have people that are out there that are just anti-Trumpers. Doesn't matter what he says. I mean, he could say he's personally writing everybody a $5,000 check, and there's people still will have things to say negatively about him. Thank you guys for coming in and watching. And if you are watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or hit that like button. Turn on those live notifications. We're also on gab.ai. So it's gab, G-A-B, period, AI / Patriot Media. You can find us over there as well. And if you guys are on Gab, thanks for tuning in. We're just kind of seeing him meet and greet here with other members and people in the audience. Democrats are diminishing the stories of all those strong Americans already. Oh, I mean, they're gonna try to destroy this any way they can. Identity politics, race baiting, you name it, it's gonna happen. It's been happening. So I don't expect that to change. Love how President focuses on patriots and brings them out for a shout out. Totally. I mean, you know, this isn't the only one. He made a speech. It was at that like farmers convention thing. And in the farmers convention thing, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the official name of it was, but it was basically the convention for farmers. He gave a great speech, and he also had a very strong message to patriots in that one as well. So if you haven't heard that one, I strongly suggest that you guys go and put that one in on YouTube and check that speech out as well. They have 6 outlets countering the State of the Union. Oh, yeah, you just wait and see what clowns like Maxine Waters are going to come out and say. Only a matter of time. Only a matter of time before they make a bigger ass of themselves than they already have been doing. And they're just going to continue on. Like nothing's wrong. Like none of them should, like, first of all of them should be in a retirement home. I'm sorry. Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, I don't know. They all got to go. They all got to go. And these are the loudmouths. So the Hollywood lives. Yeah, totally. Some lazy Americans are in for a wake-up call, I hope. Well, you know what? I want to see what comes out in this memo, and I want to see who's gonna get locked up. That's what I want to see. I want to see Hillary gone. She's probably has nothing to do with this memo, but I mean, oh man, wouldn't that be great? We've all been waiting for this. We want Jeff Sessions to do his job. More and more of these clowns keep coming to the surface, okay? All these Hillary bots that are just out there doing whatever to help her. I want them all to be locked up. It's pretty simple. Yeah, release the memo, lock them up. They can say whatever. Oh, what happened here? I guess the chat. You add the chat. Oh, here we go. That's better. Sorry about that, guys. I was just reading the comments, but you guys couldn't even see them. Each day more lefties see their bullshit. I mean, yeah, but you know what? Some of them are beyond the point of return, is what I like to call it. They've managed to cross over this line, and I couldn't tell you exactly where the line is, but they cross it, and something in their brain permanently becomes disfigured, and they are not capable of critically thinking for themselves. I can't tell you when it happens. I can tell you that long exposure to CNN will cause this phenomenon. That coupled with Trump derangement syndrome, they're done. They're never coming back, as far as I know. I've never encountered one. You guys know what I'm talking about. there's people that are just, they're so far gone. Like, what can you do? They can say whatever each day more lives. Trump must be swining some of these libs right in the line. Well, we're going to see what happens, guys. But anyway, we're going to cut this one off. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, patreon.com/Patriot Media if you want to help us out. I'm glad you guys got a chance to check out the State of the Union address with us here. And until next time, guys.